Hello everyone and welcome to this week's video. Today we're actually trying a new toy line. It's not a vintage one, but it's something that really inspired me in a way. I got this little doll in a car boot sale, which are quite popular here in the UK. And when I saw the socks, I thought, that reminds me of someone. And with Halloween approaching, I thought, why not try a little custom again? Don't worry, we are going back to pony soon, but experimentation. So the first thing we need to do to start working on this Wednesday Addams doll is to get rid of these two buns here and replace them with Wednesday braided hair. I thought these pincers could be a good idea, however, as you can see, they didn't really work as I was expecting. Maybe they're not sharp enough or the plastic is just too hard. So instead we're going to use the X-Acto knife. Now this is a very sharp tool, so if you're thinking of doing this, please be careful. I will skip some of the process because it took ages, but eventually I was able to remove the buns and I worked a little bit to make the surface look smoother in a way. So while we do this, let me tell you a little bit about this doll and how I found it and what I'm going to transform it into, although I already said it. So let me start by saying that I didn't know anything about this line and I got this doll for about 50p, like a few cents of a dollar. From what I understand, it's called Curious Q.T, I believe. It's from series 2 and it's representing Alice in Wonderland. And from what I can see online also, it used to come with a few accessories like a milk bottle and a giant bow on her head. Without these accessories and in this condition, I estimate this doll is about $5, maybe between $3 and $5. So you know how I feel about changing vintage toys, and you know that when it comes to ponies especially, I always try to keep the pony as close to the original as possible, more of a repair or restoration. But I'm also really enjoying doing customs, and in this case, I believe because this is quite a common doll, easy to find, and it's new, then it's okay to customize. And the reason I'm going for a Wednesday custom is very simple. It's the socks or tights she has, so that's going to remain the same throughout the project. Okay, so I know because this is going to mostly be a black job paint, I don't need to remove the existing colors, but there is some texture to them, like what the parts that are painted might be a little bumpier, and I want to redo the eyes, so we're going to get rid of all the existing paint except the tights and the shoes, and to do this we're going to use acetone, pure acetone. So we need a more aggressive approach. I'm going to switch to the cotton pads. And we're going to carefully, but not really, get rid of all the paint and get rid of the integrity of these gloves, because look at that. It goes through them. That's for choosing the aesthetics of pink over safety. For the hair, I'm going to take most of the paint, but I don't want to go too much into the crevices because I'm also scared the acetone is going to start eating the plastic. Oh, this is the most satisfying part. It's a bit creepy, but also very satisfying. It actually reminds me of something. If you are from Latin America or from Argentina, you might, and you are quite old, you might remember a show called Caloi en su tinta, which was like a stop motion show in the, I don't know, the 90s, early 2000s, 90s I think. And checking now about Tim Burton's movies, I realized that Beetlejuice was made in 1988, so I don't know much about the style, but we had this show, Caloi en su tinta, Caloi in his ink, that displayed all these little short animations, and there was one of them where there was a bird that ate children's eyes. I know, creepy alert, Halloween! I didn't know Tim Burton back then, but I love these animations. They scared the hell out of me, but I also love them. But if you by any chance have seen this, please let me know, because I wonder who else remembers. I'll be also curious to know what was your first Tim Burton movie. Mine was, I think, Nightmare Before Christmas, and then soon after Beetlejuice, both of which I loved, and I can't wait for the new Beetlejuice movie. Okay, ranty. So here is what it looks like after we have done the acetone treatment on most of the doll. So now we are ready to start working on the sculpting part. Oh yeah, I'm adding this afterwards. I actually forgot to do the bow here, to remove the bow, so we're going to do that now, and you might see it in the next section, but only for a little bit, because I don't want this to like go out of order. Our first task is going to be sculpting the little collar, the white collar from the dress. To do this, I'm going to use green stuff, which is a type of epoxy putty. It's very easy to use, it's not toxic for the hands, and it gives this very nice, very soft result. So I choose it over the normal epoxy putty, the white one, because it's less grainy and it's like working with melted plastic. I don't know how to explain it, but it feels really nice. So yeah, our task for the sculpting, we're going to do the belt, we're going to do the sleeves, the neck, and the hair. And to help me in this task, I'm going to use silicone sculpting tools. You can find the link in the description if you need to buy them. And for now, I will leave you with some music. So I hope you enjoy, and I will see you very soon in the next section. Alright, now that we have sculpted some of the features for the clothes, it's time to work on the hair. My goal here is quite simple. I'm going to try to recreate that area where the braids originate from and then add the actual braids. To do this, I'm just going to use these long strips of green stuff and add some like subdivisions to it. Oh my god, I'm using all these weird words today. I don't know what's happening. It's a strange morning. It's very windy and dark, and I have Bruno here on my lap. Anyway, when I did my Critical Role little Playmobil custom, one of the videos from, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, I had a lot of fun working on the hair, and the result was quite interesting in this case. Unfortunately, I'm not too happy with it, but I thought a lot about it and whether I should go back and redo it, and decided against it eventually. Mostly because I wasn't sure what it would look like once it was all painted. It wasn't that great. But you know, we learn. So as you can see here, I'm using this lubricant gel to work on the green stuff. This makes it less sticky and quite easy to work with, although these braids were much more difficult than I expected. One of my mistakes was to not mix the green stuff too well. I think you're also supposed to like take the part where the colors meet off and then mix it, because that's already like hardened, and this is why the strips weren't as good. But anyway, in time I did manage to get a long braid, cut it in two, and applied it to the head. Luckily, well, in this case it is luck, because green stuff is super duper sticky and anything you want to add to your models, it just sticks to it immediately, which is like a blessing and a curse. So then I just went ahead and added a little more, what do you call them, some dips to the hair shapes. Oh my god, hopefully the video makes more sense than my commentary. So yeah, I kept reworking these, and after I was done with that, I added some little balls to the ends of the braids, did the remaining of the hair, styled that, and we are sort of done. Oh, and then I had to wait for like 48 hours for this to dry. I don't know why it took so long. I think, again, because it wasn't mixed well enough, but eventually it did dry, and I was able to prepare things for painting. Oh, and one last thing, I decided I wanted to change the mouth's expression, so I filled it in with some more green stuff. Okay, it's now time to start painting. And I want to show you my specially purchased Halloween painting dish, which I'm going to keep very clean, I promise. And of course, water giraffe also to help. So we're going to start with the eyes. And as usual, we're going to use acrylic paints. In this case, the white is a slightly watered down paint. It's used for airbrushing actually. And I'm going to do lots of very thin layers. Well, this one doesn't look too thin, but you should do thinner than this. Ideally, you want like 4 or 5 very, very watered down thin layers. And for this doll, I'm going to use a combination of brushes and also acrylic pens, because I found they're quite nice if you need to do like round shapes, like circles and stuff like that, like the eyes. And the brushes are miniature painting brushes and also one of those flat brushes that are quite good for, I don't know, surfaces, I guess. Confusing morning of darkness and spookiness. I think it's best if I leave you with some themed music. So I hope you enjoy the painting session. And again, I will see you very soon for the final touches. Now this was by far my favorite part of the project and I have actually another thing coming that is all little dots like this, so hopefully you'll like it. Alright, results time. So let's take a quick look at the before with cute little buns. And here is the after. The paint looks very shiny on the camera. It's not this shiny in real life, but I have very strong lights. And I am quite happy with the result, I have to say. I was very excited when I found this doll and I couldn't wait to customize yet another line. So I would love to know your thoughts. I hope in any case that you still enjoyed the video, even if it wasn't the cleanest of executions or my neatest project. But I had a lot of fun working on it. So I hope you have a great week and I will see you in the next one, which should be another Halloween special. Hopefully, lots of them for the coming month. So see you soon, bye bye!